So I thought I'd talk about the truck today. You know, one of the things a lot of people will say is, you don't live off grid because you got a car. And then they'll name another, actually I had a YouTuber do this, said I don't live off grid because I have a truck. And then he named off a bigger YouTuber who lives off grid, who just bought a new truck and was giving away their old truck to a subscriber giveaway. And I thought, wait a minute, huh? But as far as having a truck, so when I bought this in 2015, it was like February 2015 I bought this, January 20, February, from Baldwin, Missouri. I think that's where I got it, Baldwin. I'm pretty sure it's Baldwin. I thought there was a tag on it. Yeah, Baldwin. I used to live in Baldwin, but I didn't live there when I bought this. But anyway, I think it was $26,000, and I got a loan. There was some, you know, I was trying to refinance everything, and I was trying to get my payments down. Long story, and I don't want to get into that. That's not the point of this video. But so but in 2 years I had this thing paid off. And that was the big thing, is I needed to get this paid off in a hurry. So it's 11 years old now, and it's got 97,000 miles on it. Now, you know, the first 40,000 in the first 2 years, 45,000. I mean, in 2 years we put at least half of the mileage onto this thing, and then the next 9 years we put the other half. So because you know, we were working, of course we had to work to pay for this. But then we started the nomadic life, traveling, and then we moved here. And for the last 4 years, we've only put about 6,000 miles a year on this. Now, when we first got here, we put quite a bit more because we were building a house and we had to go get materials all the time. And we didn't understand the area very well, so we were going out more often to buy stuff. But we've gotten adjusted to everything, and about 6,000 a year. And when I was changing the oil, it's got that monitor system on it. I was changing the oil every 100%. You know, when we'd use 100%, I was changing the oil about every year. Well, last time I did that, I used the whole 100%. It went a year and a half. Well, about that same time, I was having engine troubles. And what I learned was, as engines age, you have to put thicker oil in it. I should have started putting thicker oil in as soon as the warranty expired. I didn't know it at the time, but the manufacturer said to use 5W20. Well, we started having oil pressure issues last year, so I put 5W30 in it, and that seems to have resolved the issue. And I still, if I have to, can go up to 5W40 if I still have problems with it. But as it wears, the tolerances aren't as tight anymore, so oil flows more freely in it. So the 20 was just not thick enough. So anyway, got that resolved. Then later that year we had a thermometer, and it was just a wire harness. That's all it was. It went bad, and we had that replaced. That was $400. That was pretty expensive. But I've tried to keep up on the maintenance on this as the best I could, or can. I change the oil every time I'm supposed to. Now I'm changing it every 50%, so changing it more frequently. I've changed the transmission fluid in twice. This last time I just did this year, earlier this year, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. Changed the tires twice. I just replaced the front brake pads. I've changed the rear end fluid once. So I've stayed on top of the maintenance, is my point. Well, you know, inspection time's coming, so this year I've really been trying to focus on the inspection items. So I just replaced the front brakes, new tires. So I just ordered back brakes. And I got them from Amazon. They're AC Delco, so they're really good brakes. And they were a returned item. Somebody returned them. I guess they bought the wrong pair. And so they were only 20 bucks. So $60 brakes for 20 bucks. Now, if there's something missing or there's a problem with them, I can return them, obviously. But I thought, why not? You know, 20 bucks. Let's go ahead and get them done. And I probably should do them anyways. You know, it's got almost 100,000 miles on it. And, you know, over that period of time, the glues start to break loose from the brake pads and just different things happen. So then I got to thinking, well, what else do I need to do? And I need to do that rear end oil again. The problem is I don't live on a flat terrain here. This is about the flattest as I got here. So I had to find how much rear end. That's why I didn't do the transmission. You just got to have flat surface. So when you fill it back up, it comes out of that drain hole, and then you know it's full. Well, I don't have flat surface, so I didn't do that one. But with the rear end, it's not quite as critical. I got to put 1.5 to 1.6 quarts in it, so a quart and a half. So I'll get it on as flat surface as I possibly can. I'll probably turn it around so the nose is down. That way I can get at least 1.6 quarts into it. But yeah, I'm going to change that too this week. So I've ordered everything, and I'm just going to, you know, maintain this as long as I can. And I've been trying to figure out what's the best thing to do with this. I mean, it's got, like I said, 100,000 miles on it. And these things notoriously go to 250,000 miles. It's been pretty consistent that age of truck goes 250,000 miles. She sure does not like me making videos. You want to go inside? You want to go inside? So if I continue with the current mileage that I'm putting on it now, 6,000 a year, in 10 years, that's only another 60,000, so that'd be 160,000. And so I was asking AI, what's the feasibility of replacing the engine and the transmission and all that if I ever needed to? You know, is it worth it? And it said, well, in 260,000 miles, even if you put that on in another 10 years, the truck at that point wouldn't be worth anymore. Right now, I think the truck's worth $9,000 to $17,000, something like that. So it's still got a huge trade-in value. It's probably more like 9 and less like 17, but that's okay. So if I wrecked it, I could get 9,000 out of it. You know, if I totaled it, and it's got full coverage. I know that people say when you pay it off, you should get liability, but I don't see why I would want to do that. If I wreck it, you know, they're going to give me $9,000. You know, I'll take that money. So, but in 10 more years, it'll be a 20-year-old truck, 9 years. We're looking at about $3,000. That's all it's going to be worth. So, let's say the engine goes out in 10 years from now. That's 160,000 miles for a truck that's worth $3,000. You put in a new engine. You know, I got these estimates, 4,000 to 6,000, something like that for a new engine. You can do the whole package, engine and transmission, for 9,000. So if I were to replace all that right now, it would be worth it. But I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, it just keeps running. So let's say it lasts another 10 years. That puts me in 2036. It would actually make more sense at that time to go ahead and buy a 2026 model, this year's model, in 2036 instead of fixing this one up. So I'm trying to, you know, just plan everything out. If it goes out within the next year or two, then we'll fix it. If it lasts another 10 years, then we'll replace it. If it needs to be replaced, that's the thing. I'm not really sure it's going to need to be replaced if I keep doing the maintenance on it. What I have to do is really figure out the trade-in value the day the engine dies. And as long as the trade-in value is still higher than the replacement cost of the engine and transmission, then it would be worth it. But here's the thing. You don't want to replace the transmission and the engine. You spend $9,000 and the next day you wreck it. And then you get $3,000 back from the insurance company. So you've lost you lost $6,000. Would it be better to put all that money towards a new truck, a used truck? So I'm really trying to think this out. Now, you know, back to, you know, off-grid, aren't supposed to have vehicles. I basically don't have a vehicle. Nobody that I know of puts 6,000 miles a year on a vehicle. You know, they may get 6 years. I know there's going to be people like, oh no, I can keep a vehicle for 30,000 years. I'm the genius when it comes to fixing my own vehicles. Well, I'm not even talking about fixing my own vehicle. I'm just talking about driving it. And I've been really impressed with this truck. I owned a 1992 Chevy. Well, actually, I owned a 1991 Ford Ranger, and I hated that thing. It just had no power. Well, then later, I sold that, and later I bought a used Chevy S10. And I loved that truck. I even had that one painted. Well, I actually helped paint it. It was my father-in-law. He owned his own auto body shop. So he walked me all through how to fix it up, sand it and all that, and then he painted it. Of course, I had to pay for the paint and all the supplies. Then I owned another Chevy S10, but this one with the new rounded body style. That was in '97. Then in 2007, I bought the Colorado. The first Colorado that came out. And then it stopped production, I think, in 2010. And then in 2015, it came back out and made the Motor Trend of the Year or something like that. It was on the Super Bowl commercial. So I bought that one. I really like it. I mean, I really have liked this truck. It's got tons of power for a 4-cylinder. I know a lot of people like to make fun of the 4-cylinder, but it's just got tons of power. It's got as much horsepower as a 1980s Trans Am. So anyway, so I've been doing a lot of research on it. So anyway, I figured let's go and get the brakes changed, go ahead and get the oil changed in the rear end, and that'll get me up to about 150,000 miles. Then I can, you know, do all this again. So, you know, 50,000. So that's, if I keep it 6,000 miles a year, that's about 10 years. 9 or 10 years, 8 years. And then we can evaluate it again. I know it's got a very minor water leak. Antifreeze cooling system. Because about once a year I have to add antifreeze. So, and it's always in January. Every year it's in January. Ever since we moved here, I've had to add antifreeze in January. So, otherwise it overheats. But that's probably the only serious problem. I've replaced the thermostat twice, but that's because of the antifreeze. I took it in one time to get the thermostat replaced, and then the second one I did myself. But I think that second one did fail. I'm not sure the first one actually failed, the original one, but the one the mechanic put in, I think it failed a year later. Yeah, I just could not get that to fix. I put antifreeze in it, it just would not fix. So I changed the thermostat myself. I've changed the oil pressure sensor, but I didn't have to do that once the variable valve timing solenoids. I replaced those too. But I didn't have to do any of that because it was the oil. It was just the oil wasn't thick enough. Replaced the PVC valves. So all those PVC, yeah, I think that's what it's called. PCV, I don't know. Anyway, I've replaced those. So I think it's good for another 50,000. Then we can analyze it again. So another 10 years. So if you'll click this up next box to take the video over to my other channel, I really appreciate it if you go check it out. So if I can inspire you, stop driving so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.